PlayStation 2 was home to some platform icons such as Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter, but one that is often overlooked is Sly Cooper. The first game in the Sly series, Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, was developed by Sucker Punch Productions, though in the PAL region it's named Sly Raccoon. In the game you play as Sly Cooper, a raccoon from a family of master thieves that steal from other thieves. However, thanks to the Fiendish Five, led by a cyborg-like owl named Clockwork, the family is no longer as influential as before, with Clockwork being responsible for the death of Sly's father and stealing a book called the Thievius Raccoonus that's filled with the knowledge of the Cooper ancestors on how to steal. The Fiendish Five split the book into 5 pieces and each member took one piece with them. All alone, Sly was taken to an orphanage where he met Bentley and Murray, who would become very close and form the Cooper gang, pulling off heists and robberies that would attract the attention of Inspector Carmelita Fox. After stealing a police file from Carmelita's office, Sly and the Cooper gang learn the location of each Fiendish Five member and decide to retrieve all stolen pieces of the thief book. Sly and the Cooper gang take down each member one by one, eventually learning the location of the leader himself. Sly, Bentley and Murray team up with Carmelita to defeat Clockwork, allowing Sly to finally reassemble the Thievius Raccoonus. Before Carmelita can arrest the Cooper gang, Sly handcuffs her to the catwalk, allowing him and the gang to safely escape. The ending teases a sequel as Clockwork is still seemingly alive. The plot of this game is nothing too special, as it is just about restoring your family's name and stopping an evil organization, but the characters are so well written and memorable that it stays with you after having beaten the game. The dynamic between Sly, Murray and Bentley is great, with some hilarious banter between the trio, and the villains have interesting backstories that explain why they ended up the way they did. So the story in this game is great thanks to the characters and should keep you motivated to keep playing to see what quippy lines Sly can think of next. What makes Sly stand out from the other platformers is its focus on stealth. As Sly you can move around quietly by interacting with objects that sparkle with blue light, which is necessary as you die with only one hit. Luckily enemies also die in one hit, so if you play cautiously you should be able to dispose of enemies without dying. If you do get detected you will set off an alarm that you must destroy, or hide for a few seconds until the alarm resets. By simply pressing circle you can attach yourself to blue sparkling objects, allowing you to safely evade enemy vision and also land on platforms without falling to your death. To reach these objects Sly uses his cane, which can also be used to hit enemies and smash objects for more coins. By collecting 100 coins you get a lucky charm, allowing you to take another hit before going down. And if you have 2 lucky charms equipped you get another life once you collect 100 coins. Losing a life sends you back to the start of the sub-level, or you will respawn at the signal repeater, which serves as a checkpoint in this game. Losing all lives means you will have to restart the entire episode, though because you are constantly obtaining coins this never happened, with the only exception being the final boss. The game is made up of 5 missions, and each mission has a hub world where you can access smaller levels that you will need to complete to obtain keys that you need to unlock more of the hub world and progress through the game to reach the end boss. The last mission lets you use everything you have learned up to that point and puts your skills to the test, and as a result this is by far the hardest part of the game, especially the final fight against Clockwork, which took me numerous tries before I was finally able to defeat him. Out of all 5 missions, the first mission is my favorite, because it has the most slice sections and the missions are nicely put together that allow you to get familiar with the mechanics of the game. Each level contains clue bottles that you can collect to get the code for a locked safe located in the level. Opening the safe allows you to obtain a page from the Thievius Raccoonus, which holds special powers like a dive attack, a technique to speed up time, and even the ability to turn invisible. You also get new moves by defeating each of the mission's bosses, which you will need to progress through the later levels. As Sly you don't only sneak around but also occasionally need to do some mini games like protecting Murray by shooting incoming enemies. These sections are just memorization, as you need to know where enemies are coming from, because if you react too slow it is game over and you need to do it all over again. Aside from playing as Sly you also get to play as the other members of the Cooper gang. With Murray you get to take part in races and his car is extremely sensitive, making it easy to oversteer, so expect to try these races a few times before you can flawlessly drive to come out on top. And as Bentley you get to shoot enemies in a hacking minigame in order to hack devices. The non-stealth sections are nice deviations to add some gameplay variety, and they aren't horrible, but they lack the depth that the stealth sections with Sly do have, so whenever another one appeared I was just glad when it was over so I could enjoy the much more fleshed out Sly sections. After beating the game you can challenge yourself further by doing Master Thief sprints, which force you to complete levels in a certain time. By completing these you unlock additional concept art and developer commentary, but these are so challenging that I never managed to beat even just one of these Master Thief sprints. But if you are up for the challenge, they are a great way to sink even more hours into this game.
That is correct.
The graphics of this game are amazing, thanks to the cel shading used to create a noir vibe while being hand drawn, oozes with atmosphere and is in a league of its own, making it stand out from the other platformers on the console, and it stands among other PlayStation 2 games like God of War 2 and Final Fantasy X as a game on a system that has aged incredibly well in terms of graphics. What hasn't aged that well are the inverted controls for horizontal looking, which unfortunately can't be switched, but eventually I did get used to it. Another small annoyance is the dip in frame rate during the more hectic action set pieces, but those are small nitpicks, and aside from great visuals and solid voice acting, the game also has a fitting soundtrack that perfectly captures the noir feel the game is going for. Even over 20 years after its initial release, the first Sly game is a joy to play through, thanks to the memorable characters, satisfying gameplay and art style that has aged incredibly well. After playing this game, I am eager to see what the sequels have in store for me and if they are as great as this title.
Last, the Thievius Raccoonus restored to its original state. The first time I held the whole thing under my arm since I was 8 years old. The same weight that all my ancestors had felt beneath their arms as they had passed it on. Although, while other family members may have been great thieves, they all inherited the book. I got a chance to earn it.